Yo, what's going on YouTube? Chrono here and welcome back to the channel. Another week means another update video so you guys can be prepared on what's important once you log in post maintenance. But really quick, we'll do the usual spiel. If you're new here, I'm Chrono. I primarily cover PSO2 content. We'd much appreciate subscribers work our way towards that 10K mark, hopefully by the end of this year. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this. So there's not a whole lot. It's kind of like the end of the month. It's the calm before the storm. That is next month's content like explosion for the first half of the month. So we've got just a couple of things we can go over here really quick. A few things to remind you guys before, maintenance next week, and just some wrap up stuff. So expect this one to be a little short. I pad it out if I can, maybe have a little bit of just extra talking involved, but I'll try to wrap this up as quickly as I can. But let's hop over to the NGS site and we'll go over everything. One sec. All right, so here are on the official site. If you guys are new to these, this is where we pull all of our information from. You can always jump over here and gather it yourself in case you don't want to wait on someone to make a video. But in case someone wants to read through the information on your own, you always toss this up in the background as you're doing your dailies or whatever it happens to be that you do when you first log in. Like I mentioned, not a whole lot going on. First and foremost, we'll start with the update details. I actually have this zoomed out. I'm not sure why. Usually zoom this in, but if there is going to be any proto patch notes, you'll find them underneath the actual update information of the update details article. And click into that and see what we've got. Oh man, so we've got Nazun's big quiz part 2. You guys probably already heard the sigh in my voice. I'm not a huge fan of this quest. It is kind of, a throwback to Maple XO in my opinion. It does have like multiple choice, but it reminds me of those quiz games back in the day. And the one that really stuck with me was Maple XO. So yeah, it is what it is. But it looks like our limited quest has moved over. It's gonna mean that I want to do it less. I kind of wish they would have just stuck with the one they had this week. That was probably my favorite one. Granted, it was here the longest, but I wish it was just here the entire time. ARC's record for field races. So, at the very least, run one, get your bronze. That way you can at least get some badges and just stack them up over time. And the sad truth is that's really it when it comes to content this week. There's not a whole lot going on. Realistically, it's just going to be farm out the points you need to finish up what you need from the shop itself, and we'll hop over in game really quick and run through the shop of like what's actually important, what you guys should be buying with your points real fast. All right, so if you still need to burn points just to make sure you guys get everything that's important, make sure to of course pick up the scratch tickets. This is kind of a no-brainer. Yeah, it's 500k for scratch tickets, but like I have not even farmed and I have almost 500k randomly here. And I've been buying a bunch of other stuff too. These armors are basically like free leveling gear. This is like level 10, I think. Yeah, level 10 and level 24. It's absolutely ridiculous. That has Ale Domina, Mastery, Secreta, Trippable, and Aegisol on this already. Like, these are basically free. It's actually kind of insane. And if you're someone who just doesn't have points left over, or maybe you bought all 3 of them on one ship and you have like alts on their ship, you can buy these off the shop fairly inexpensive. These ones will run you a bit more since they're higher level, and that's what people are using right now, like for a lot of their gear. 61, but realistically, even here you spend maybe like a mil or so, maybe a little bit more for all 3, which is pretty insane. Outside of that, of course, you have your usual all of the different minerals in case you need more minerals. You've got Blizzardium, Infernium, which you think, hey, would I really need this stuff? But you can trade these things in for other useful materials and augment capsule transfer stuff, or augment capsule stuff. I wish augment capsule transfer, but other augment stuff that you can trade in for. If you're someone who hasn't gotten all of the defies you need to set up for your dual quest, you can go ahead and pick these up here. I would highly recommend going ahead and picking up your capsules this week, because after this week, the limited quest goes away, meaning those defi capsules drop a lot less often, meaning there's less of them on the market that people are going to be selling. So the prices will eventually start to go up. Other than that, you have your Mastery. Make sure you pick up Mastery. It's definitely going to be a no-brainer. It's going to be super useful. Yeah, it's 100k, but definitely want to grab those. It's a little premature, but picking up your Gigas Mites, your Gigas Techs, and your Gigas Precisions are going to be useful because we're going to be able to trade those in for HAL Finales and things like that. So go ahead and grab those. Or you can sell them early on, as of course the price is going to go down once we can craft them, but that's going to be in October. Other than that, really, I wouldn't recommend doing anything with Dreadkeep other than selling it, but that's just me. And that's really about it. Like I said, make sure you grab those scratch tickets. I like grabbing all the cosmetics and getting everything from there. The idols, even though I don't use them, of course, grab your star gems, your special scratch tickets. The Aegis Integras are super useful. Alpha reactors are just free money at this point. And then of course, I grab the augmentation success rates. I don't know why. I just do. Makes me feel comfortable. That's really about all you need to worry about from here. Just make sure you go ahead and pick up the things you need to grab from here. That way you're not missing out, because a lot of the stuff is super, super useful. Just go ahead and stack up and hold on to moving forward. But let's pop back over to the site and go over the last little bits of information that we need to know about. All right, back over on the site. Like I mentioned, not a whole lot to go over. They did post the questions from the operations report from the headline. The only one that's kind of like worth even mentioning is plans to change the augment capsule lineup. They're going to be adding Gigas 4 series and Dreadkeeper 4 series in an October update. Like, holy crap, this is late. Actually insane that this took so long, but at least it's coming eventually. I would like to see these sooner, though. This also does breed the concern that people are saying they were likely going to see Gigas 5 capsules and Dreadkeeper 5, so just keep that in mind. The only other note that was kind of important here was they mentioned the difficulty here being harder than rank 2 falls, which I'm not sure if you guys remember when rank 2 falls came out, but it was like essentially like 1 to 2 shotting everyone. It was a little difficult to deal with, and there was a limited number of deaths that could happen in the quest itself. So, you know, people had some difficulties with it. I know I had some trouble with it as well at the time. Trying to play bouncer was not the easiest thing to deal with, but you know, we push forward, we progress, and the quests are going to be a lot of fun to figure out. So I'm looking forward to it, but that's really about it that I saw that was useful from the operations report personally. Everything else was just more seemed like a vehicle for them to either answer questions they've already answered, or answer, I would say, like just nonsense questions. Like, I mean, realistically, please introduce new build parts so I can create more about. Yes, of course, this will always happen. This is silly. But I mean, other questions, of course, that are just like they're going to do something. So they pick a question that's going to fit that sort of situation, as at least that's my tinfoil hat theory, to be able to answer those sorts of questions to let people know about this stuff ahead of time. But I digress. Other than that, we do have another boost going on for the anniversary. So you probably forgot about that. Realistically, I kind of forgot about it as well. But either way, it is still going to be helpful. For those of you guys who are still trying to push through and get your last few points, we got a seasonal points bonus as well as a rare drop rate bonus. So good luck to you guys in running, you know, your PSO2 XO, I guess you can call it, and getting some rare stuff, because realistically, these limited quests have actually had some pretty good rewards as far as the weapons go, and they've been selling pretty decently. So definitely useful. And then afterwards, we have coming up fairly soon, I believe. Yeah, it's today actually. We've got the Stellar Grace coming up, so that's super cool. We have Stellar Graces that are starting up today. I am very happy about that. It starts about 11 o'clock. That just means more star gems, more resources in general. So definitely keep an eye out for that. There's usually maps that go out when people are doing the Stellar Graces. So get your Stellar Graces, get those taken care of, and make sure you have a good time for that. PSO2 day is on its way, of course. So it's the first of every month. Make sure you save up your stuff to go ahead and farm for PSO2 day. That is that this week? No, that's next week technically, because it's like, yeah, I guess it's next week technically. It's the first and the 3rd. So yeah, for this week, I don't have to worry about too much. We have a few things here and there. Stellar Graces is like a big win for me personally, and that's realistically about it. Outside of that, we have some 2 scratches, but I'm not gonna go over the scratches here. Stills goes over the scratches, so feel free to hop over to her video and check those out. And I think that about covers everything we have to talk about today. Yeah, thanks for joining me all the way in, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to toss in the comments below. Let me know if I missed anything, or let me know if there's anything you guys are looking forward to in particular in the comments as well. I know next week, not this week specifically, but next week is super packed with a lot of stuff to do. So expect to see some fun pieces of information pop up and some fun testing while we figure out all the new quests and all the new gear and all that good stuff, since we'll be back on that grind again. Anyway, guys, like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe when we keep up with more. See you all next time. Take care, everyone. Peace out.